to go. On the Fan, New York Sports Radio. Mike's on, Mike's on.
Mike Francesa is coming back home to the Fan this Tuesday, and he'll be here every Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6:30, joining Boomer and Gio from 6 to 10 a.m., Benigno and Roberts from 10 to 1, and CMB, Carlin, Maggie, and Bart from 1 to 3 p.m. for a full day of New York sports on your flagship station for New York sports, Sports Radio 101.9 FM and Sports Radio 66, WFAN and WFAN FM, New York. It's Joe Benigno and Evan Roberts on the Fan.
Joe and Evan, Evan and Joe, on WFAN Sports Radio. If you wanna be in the New York know, gotta know Joe and Evan, Evan and Joe. 66 on your AM dial, 101.9 FM. Joe and Evan on the Fan. Joe and Evan on WFAN.
All right, 10:05 on the Fan, and a very good Friday morning to you. The midday show. Joe Benigno, Evan Roberts, 877-337-6666 is the phone number. Of course, we're live in living color from the Mike Francesa studios here, high above Hudson Street on the 10th floor in Lower Manhattan. You heard the Mike jingle. How about that?
That's such an urge to sing, Joe.
Oh, boy. Dolph Kramer, Ernie Acosta on the other side of the glass. We'll be here till 2 o'clock when the afternoon drive group comes in. Maggie, Bart, and Chris. So it's official. Before we get to the draft and the baseball, terrific walk-off win for the Yankees, brutal walk-off loss for the Mets, to say the least. I guess we'll start with Mike. Mike's, it's official, right? Tuesday he starts, right?
I will say this, all right? And
Right.
I don't think I'm nuts for saying
3 to
this.
7, is that his time slot?
3 to 6:30.
3 to 6:30.
December 15th. Was that his last show?
I believe that you were correct about that.
Okay. If you would have told me on December 15th, what is more likely to happen? Mike comes back, decides, you know what?
Right.
I'm not leaving.
Right.
Or somehow the Jets get Sam Darnold, I would have put my money on Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
I would have put my money on Mike.
Yep.
And Joe, you've been around a hell of a lot longer than I have. You've seen more pain than I have.
Huh.
And you have an absolute right to take that cane or whatever that thing is, that
This is
pole.
my grabber.
Your grabber.
I got the message out to see if I can bend down now.
Okay.
I got to hear from my doctor.
All right, well, at least you have that.
Right.
You have a right to slap me with this if you want to kind of slap some sense into me, okay?
Right. I wouldn't slap you.
I am ecstatic.
Okay. No, hey, look, I understand.
I
get
am
it.
ecstatic.
I get it, bro. I mean, this is the guy, that was supposedly, at least we heard this just about all the time leading up to the draft until about 4 days ago when Cleveland said, no, we want Baker Mayfield's the guy. This is the guy that was the consensus number one quarterback coming out. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And, what we heard last year, they got to be 0-16.
That's
so
right.
They got to get Darnold. Now they blew it by winning 5 games. They're not going to get him and yada, yada, and do and all the nonsense. Well, you know what? They got him. I mean, it played out, and Mayfield went 1. I kind of surprised me a little bit, even though the word was that was what it was going to be. The Giants went like they said all along. They kind of pretty much said they would. They took Barkley. And there was Donald sitting there, and at that point, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer.
And we'll get to all aspects of what the Giants did, what the Jets did.
Yep.
But I think what adds to it is what you just laid out, that let's go back 11 months.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way back to the Jets have to tank to get Sam
16
Darnold.
to get Donald.
That's right.
Suck for Sam.
Suck for Sam.
Right.
You fighting with Ernie, fighting with the Jet fans who said, how dare you as a Jet fan even root for them to win?
Right.
Well, they won more games than I thought.
Root
for them to lose. Exactly. I apologize. And they didn't lose enough, right? And I was surprised by that. You weren't. And they end up winning more games than a lot of us thought.
Right.
And even when they trade up a few months ago, even when they give up the 3-2s.
Yeah, you never thought that Donald would be there.
Never.
Right.
So maybe a part of my excitement is the fact I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah.
That I thought the only way, Joe, they were getting Darnold is if they were throwing in a number 1 pick. If they were going to make another push to get to 1 or 2. I'm stunned they got him.
Yeah.
And, hey, to quote you, because you are a wise man.
Oh, yeah.
He better be good,
well, that's
bro.
it.
I agree.
That's it. That's why, I'm happy with the pick. I'm happy they got this guy. There's no doubt about that. He would be, if I had the choice of the 4, he would be the first one. Mayfield would be 2. So they got the guy that I would want as the first of the 4 quarterbacks. With that said, who knows? I said this to you coming in. Mm-hmm. What are we going to get now? Well, we're going to get the Sam Darnold era, like ERA, or are we going to get the Sam Darnold era, like ERROR? I don't know. I mean, we hope we're getting an era for like 10 to 12 years and a championship. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between. We can only hope this guy's the real deal. That's all we can do.
None of us
at this
know.
Point.
I get that. He's 20 years old.
Yep.
Watching all these quarterbacks, not as much as Mel Kiper or Mike Mayock, but watching these quarterbacks,
those guys.
This was the guy who at times made the most NFL throws.
Correct.
He's big.
Right.
He's strong. He's athletic. He's 20. The Rose Bowl performance against Penn State.
2 years ago, yeah.
Even the performance against Washington and the defense that they have. This is a guy who has a chance to be what you have dreamt about since Joe Namath left.
Yep.
The guy I've never seen.
No, you've never seen him.
And I don't know. I admit, none of us know. But it's like it was the perfect storm.
Yep.
They trade up to 3.
Yep.
The Browns make a gutty decision, and for their sake, I hope it works. I have no ill will toward Baker Mayfield, because much like you, I expected him to be the Jet
Browns
quarterback.
shocked everybody at 4 by taking this defensive back from Ohio State instead of taking Chubb. I think that was another. So they kind of stunned people twice.
Oh, absolutely. Denzel Ward.
Yep.
And I think that, if anything, stunned John Elway. Because apparently John Elway was going to trade back to Buffalo, and then as soon as Chubb falls to him, he's like, I'm doing it.
Yep.
So, and I heard someone call up Boomer and Gio this morning, a Jet fan. I don't know his name, but he called up and said, you'll love this. You'll love this.
Yeah.
I'm giving up my season tickets. Darnold stinks.
How does he know?
This is awful. I'm never going to watch the Jets again. Are you freaking kidding me?
Come on. How does he? You don't know anything. You have no idea what Darnold is. We don't know. So to make a statement like that is ludicrous. I mean, let's be real.
Let's see what he is.
Of course.
But I am through the moon that they got this guy. See, the Giant thing is complicated. The Giant thing is very complicated.
Yeah, I thought they might take Darnold when Mayfield went 1. I did think that all along. Obviously, I was wrong.
And Gettleman, who was on with Boomer and Gio about 45 minutes ago, you hear him talk about Saquon Barkley. He's sold that this guy is going to be an all-time great. And maybe he is. But I look at it this way on judging this pick. Let's say the Eli Manning era lasts 3 more years. Is that a fair guess?
Okay. I think that's a good number.
Okay. Does Saquon Barkley lead him to a Super Bowl? Maybe he does. Maybe he's Terrell Davis. I don't know.
Maybe.
If he does, if you can win another championship, and Saquon Barkley is a big part of it, I think we all admit it was a success. You win a championship, it was a success.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Now, let's say he's LaDainian Tomlinson. He's a Hall of Famer. They don't win anything under Eli.
They don't even get to a Super Bowl because Tomlinson never even did that.
Exactly. So he really is LaDainian Tomlinson.
Right.
And let's say Eli's gone after 3 years, Davis Webb is nothing, and you're in the wilderness. And Sam Darnold becomes a franchise quarterback.
Right.
Even if Saquon, Joe, is LaDainian Tomlinson, how do you not regret that?
No, you would.
Because of the nature of the position.
Especially if, like you said, Darnold really becomes the real deal.
And that because that's going to be on the Giant fans' mind if it happens.
Yep.
It's in your stadium.
Yep.
Let alone town.
Yep.
But then the other factor is, what does Davis Webb become? If Saquon Barkley becomes LaDainian Tomlinson and Webb, as Dottino believes he will, and he'll join us later, he eases the transition and becomes a real solid NFL quarterback. Or the Giants take Mason Rudolph in about 11 hours, and maybe they do.
Because they do have a second-round pick.
Yeah. I don't think they will, but let's say they do.
Right, okay.
Then I think, again, okay, the pick works. But if they don't find their future quarterback, then it's a disaster.
Here comes Boomer.
I'm pumped, Boomer.
We didn't do anything. The guy hasn't played it down yet. How do I know?
All right, exactly.
Well, he's less
about?
excited than I am. I'm pumped up.
Pessimistic.
Well, what am I not supposed to be after 50 years and no Super Bowl? I haven't had a quarterback since Joe Willie. I mean, you come on.
Joe, I was a quarterback once.
I understand.
No, you weren't. Relax.
Were you?
You're right.
By the way,
I won't discuss you at 3 years on the team.
Kozlik, I don't know. Coach Height.
I know you had 3 different coaches.
Hey, Boom, did you hear
I know.
Mike is coming back? He's actually starting on Tuesday?
Everett MacGyver, your favorite offensive lineman.
Yes.
Did you know you were being filmed last night on that
I didn't know until halfway through.
Did you
My
see
wife
this
did
video?
that.
No, why he was filmed where?
With his shirt off.
My wife
You
started.
filmed at home?
My wife started filming because I was telling her how nervous I was because I wanted this guy. This is the guy I wanted. And Joe's right for being cautious, but I'm all in because this is the guy I wanted for a year.
I could tell last night when you said, we got it.
I was excited.
I'm like, hey, all right, listen.
I was excited. What do you want from me?
Hey, listen, Ginger, do you run around with your shirt off all the time at home?
Here's the deal. My wife likes it hot. I like it cold. We disagree. Who do you think wins on that, Boom?
Don't you think this is like a crazy place, like the unique personalities that work here?
What are you talking about?
Okay. By the way, did you know we were in a slump, apparently?
I just heard that.
Yeah.
Slump. What do you mean slump?
Mike said the radio station's in a slump.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, in a slump, and he's coming back to save the day.
So Mike
Thank
is
you.
the slump buster, is what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
Then.
Who are you going to call? Slump Busters.
There it is.
Right.
Well, have a great show, boys.
All right, boom. See you.
Who's better than you? I am pumped up
Gio
about
and Boomer.
Darnold. I'm not going to feel bad about that.
Look, there's no reason not to be pumped up. Look, I'm happy with this pick. Don't get me wrong. But I just, I got to be. Look, the one thing I will say, this will be the fifth guy. I don't include Namath because Namath obviously, he did what had to be done. He won us a championship. The guys that this will be the fifth time since that the Jets have taken a quarterback in the first round.
Right.
Every one of the other four guys, although none of them turned out to be the guy we wanted them to be, all of them led the team to the playoffs at one point. Mm-hmm. Every one of them. Richard Todd, Kenny O'Brien, Chad Pennington, and Mark Sanchez. All of them have had some kind of success, even though they didn't get us to the Holy Grail. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I assume that this is going to at least get that again, but I need the guy now that's going to be the guy that we have waited for forever, and I can only hope that Darnold's going to be that guy.
Absolutely.
I can only hope that.
And look, I'm not setting the bar as he needs to be Aaron Rodgers, but here's the bar I'm setting.
That would be nice.
Well, of course, it would be nice.
Eli Manning?
Top 10 quarterback for the next 15 years.
Yeah, okay.
Is that asking too much?
No, of course.
And that's what this team is due for. That's what this guy has the potential to be.
Yeah.
And trust me, I understand. And maybe it's going to be an age split. I understand you and anybody else saying, I can't get excited. I've seen it all.
Right.
I've seen so much disappointment.
Right.
Maybe it's still my youthfulness, my naivete, whatever it is.
If you're a Jet fan,
I'm pumped.
If you're a Jet fan, you can't be upset with the pick. I mean, there's no way you could be upset with this guy. You got to be happy about the pick. Now we got to see it pan out. I mean, that's the bottom line. And I'll say this too. I really do, and I don't want to see him start from day one. Although I understand if he won the job in camp, maybe you'd say, okay, look, he's going to start from day one. I really don't want to see that, but I do want to see him play this year at some point. I mean, I do want that to happen. I don't really want him to sit the entire year.
I'm not.
We don't have a franchise quarterback. If we had a franchise quarterback now, now you're talking about something else. Okay, look, let him sit the whole year, let him learn. Here, I want to see him play at some point. I got to say that.
I think it's likely that I will be agreeing with you based on the nature of the season. But right now, in the middle of late April, my dream is Teddy's healthy.
Right.
Teddy wins that job.
Yep.
Teddy has a great year. Jets are in the playoffs, and Sam's learning. Sam is sitting there with a clipboard, and he's learning. So from that standpoint, I wouldn't want him to play.
Right.
But I understand that the odds are that's not going to be the situation. The odds are Teddy's not going to be healthy. The odds are McCown's going to be the quarterback. The odds are they'll be okay. And the odds are by week 13, you and I will be saying it's time for Sam.
Yeah, well,
I agree with you.
Honestly, I hope we see him before that, to be honest.
Maybe.
That's me. That's just me.
Let's see how it unfolds.
Right. Let's see how it plays out.
But he's 20 years old.
No, I know.
And Josh McCown, and this reminds me of the whole Brunel Sanchez thing, had a very funny tweet this morning in which he tweeted out a picture of a text message from his daughter who wanted to point out that she is only a year younger than Sam Darnold, which could create some awkwardness if the two of them hit it off.
Yeah, well.
You never know.
You don't know.
You don't know. But he's a young man. He's 20 years old.
Yeah, no,
Can't even
I
have a drink. But I think the draft is about hopefulness. And I think that it was obvious the Jets needed a quarterback, so this is very simple. The Giant thing is so complicated because, like I said before, man, even if he's a Hall of Famer, there's a way as a Giant fan you could look back at this and regret it.
Yeah.
If you go into the wilderness not having a quarterback. And so that's why if you find the future for Eli from Davis Webb or someone else, fine, great pick. Or if you can win a championship in the next 3 years with Saquon being a big factor, great pick. But even if he is a Hall of Famer, if that wilderness comes in 3 years and Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen or Josh Allen are stars, the Giant fans are going to regret it, no matter how good he is.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. We'll see. The Giants are in win now mode. That's the bottom line. They want to win it now, and I get it. I mean, and they have a chance to have an explosive offense. They haven't really. Eli's never had that really great running back. I mean, let's be honest about it. I mean, he had Tiki for a while there, I understand. And then they had Bradshaw and Jacobs, and they were good. And obviously, those guys helped them win a Super Bowl. They had Derek Ward that one year. He rushed for over 1,000 yards. You know, they've had some guys, but it's been a few years since they really had any kind of real running back. And so now you got this guy who's projected to be this all-time already. They're saying he's going to be an all-time great player. Okay. And now you're throwing Beckham into the mix. You throw the tight end who's pretty good into the mix. You throw a Sterling Shepard into the mix. You add Nate Solder on the offensive line. You know, the other guy they added from Jacksonville. I mean, the Giants have a chance to be real good. They have a chance to have an explosive offensive football team.
That's why.
I mean, that there's no doubt about.
Short term, they're better.
Right.
I don't think there's no debate about that. This is not a short-term debate.
Right.
From a short-term standpoint, their offense, Joe, like you said, with this new head coach who did more with less in Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the pieces he had there compared to the pieces he has now.
Sure.
This Giant team, and this is why even if you were a big quarterback guy and you were all in that they have to find their franchise quarterback, which I ultimately agree with. I agree with that point. How are you not pumped up this morning thinking about this offense?
Well, I think most of the Giant fans, at least the feeling I got, and most of the ones we talked to, really wanted Barkley. Now, there was some Giant fans who wanted the offensive lineman.
It felt mixed.
Yeah.
Didn't it feel mixed overall, though?
I thought it was a little more pro Barkley
Maybe.
than the other way.
It felt like there was definitely a lot of Barkley, don't get me wrong. I think there was a lot of go get me the quarterback.
Right.
The trading back thing. And I'll tell you this about Gettleman. We'll see what type of GM he is. He's a funny guy. Some of the lines he has just make me laugh when he was asked about trading back. And, you got to find that cut, though. It's very, very funny where he's like, well, people calling me and they're offering me hot dogs and popcorn. And I'm saying, don't waste my time. He sounds like you if you were a general manager. That's what he kind of reminds me of. Just a normal dude who just says what's on his mind. Yeah. Gettleman reminds me of that.
He does kind of, there's a little bit of that to him.
And you know what ended up happening with Gettleman? I don't think he ended up BSing any of us about what they did. Because I think everything he had said over the last few months, and I was always skeptical, saying, hey, let's not read too much into what he says.
Could always be a smokescreen.
But it wasn't. It never was. Because they ended up taking this guy.
Yep.
And obviously, it didn't matter who the Browns were taking. They were taking this guy. Because I don't think the Giants were ever taking Baker Mayfield. So it was obvious, or it's turned out to be obvious now, that this was their guy. This was the guy they wanted. And they went out and they got him. They basically had the number 1 overall pick, assuming Cleveland didn't shock the world by taking him. As far as Baker Mayfield, man, I'm rooting for his success.
Yeah. Why wasn't he there? He wasn't there at the draft, was he?
Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, I didn't see him.
Yeah, I didn't see, was he there?
No, I don't think he was.
He was at home, apparently.
Is that where he was?
Yeah, he was at home with his family. They streamed it on Instagram.
All right.
That's fine. Lamar Jackson was waiting, and if good for him, he got that call right at the end of the first round.
32 to the Ravens, who kept trading back all the time.
Yeah.
What does that say about Joe Flacco?
It says that he's going to be replaced.
Right. Eventually. Right.
By potentially maybe the next great quarterback. Who knows? I mean, I loved watching Lamar in college.
Yep.
I don't know what he's going to be at the next level. But what a day. I'm so glad it finally happened. Because the anticipation of this was just killing me.
Yeah.
Here is the clip I was referring to about Gettleman and the idea of trading back.
The short answer is not really. I mean, it's, people call you and they want the second pick of the draft for, a bag of donuts, a hot pretzel, and a hot dog. It's like, you get it, leave me alone. I ain't got time to screw around.
That is pretty good. I ain't got time to screw around.
If you were the GM of the Jets, I believe you'd be talking like this.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, just stop bothering me.
Yeah, right.
We'll get all your reaction to this at 877-337-6666. The Giant fan, the Jet fan, how you feeling on this beautiful morning?